friends, and welcome to another episode of Dark Side of the Word, a weekly podcast for all the dark story lovers, creatives, and artists out there. My name is Kait, and I'm here with my unapologetic co-host, CJ.
Hello, everybody. A U word, not a C word this time. Look at you changing it up.
Yeah, I'm trying. Gotta get through the list before,
before the end of the year. Okay.
It is the last Thursday of the month, which means it is time for book club. I hope that you have a warm or cool drink, a comfy spot to curl up in, and have read the book. Well, hopefully we've all read the book, because if not, stop, turn away.
I've read the book.
There will be serious spoilers, and you have been warned. I want no,
lots of spoilers.
Complaints here. I have warned you. Okay? Warned you. And in case we, haven't mentioned enough, this month's book club was Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman with the shiny cover.
It is very shiny.
I know,
I see we did not buy our copy this time. We went to the library. We usually buy the books.
It is bought.
It is? It looks very shiny, like a library cover.
Where's the library sticker?
I thought I have you small, so I thought that little thing was the library thingy.
No, this is mine.
Oh, okay. That is excessively shiny then. It's been a while since I bought a hardback book.
Just gonna go light on fire. Anywho, yeah, that was aggressive.
What, that one? Are you gonna have to go get that now in case you want to quote the book? Okay.
Oh, damn it. Okay, we'll see. We'll come to that when it comes.
You have a dog, by the way. Does your dog know how to fetch?
If it's his pillow, yes.
Pretend that's a pillow? Does he know the difference? Okay.
He has
book's gone forever.
Such a love for pillows that we had to get him a pillow that said reserved for the dog.
Oh.
And he knows that is his, not any other pillow in the house, that one. Though he has tried to steal my ghost pillow a couple times.
It is very stealable. It's very cute.
Alrighty, friends, as usual, I am going to read the synopsis I wrote for the book, and then hopefully we will get CJ's, that's so amazing reaction at the end.
Well, it's a good thing that you wrote your own synopsis, because you literally just threw away the book, and you couldn't read the back of that one.
See, but I knew I had my own, so, Alright. Bella has a secret friend. She calls them Other Mommy, and they crawl out of her closet. At first, they were friends. Other Mommy would make faces, talk to her, lighten the mood some, especially as Bella's parents seem to be drifting apart. Mommy works late, and Dado seems to be consumed with meetings. Other Mommy might be Bella's only friend outside of her parents. But then one day, Other Mommy asks Bella a question. Would Bella let Other Mommy enter her heart? Bella says no. She doesn't want to go to a different place. Other Mommy warns that if Bella doesn't say yes, bad things can happen, because friends don't say no to their friends.
Ooh, yeah, that is good. That is good. Seriously, you missed your calling, woman. That is fantastic.
I should charge for this. If someone needs their book synopsis written, I'm
seriously.
Your woman.
Totally, you should. You absolutely should. That was good.
I like it better than theirs, I will say.
Theirs is very short, that's why. But yours adds a little bit more detail, a little bit more emotional attachment. Excellent.
Why can't I do this for myself, though?
Because you're too close to it. You're too close. It's a blessing and a curse all at once.
But again, writers, if you're listening, write synopsis for books. It may help you write yours better. Yeah. This is why I started doing this, and now it's just become like a party trick.
I love it. It's fantastic.
All right, and so as usual, because this is what I like to say, we are going to start with our rating of the book. And so, as usual, CJ, what did you rate it?
I gave Incidents Around the House 3.5 stars. Oh, what did you give it?
Well, I saw 3. So I was thinking more of like a 2.5. But no, you went there with a 3.5.
I went there with a 3.5. It was not a 3, it was not a 4. 3.5.
But it wasn't good enough to be rounded up to 4. You rounded it down.
It was not. We will get into that. I have some serious reservations about certain things. There was stuff I loved, and there was stuff I hated.
Okay. All right. So,
I'm open to persuasion about changing my mind.
Guess what I gave it?
2?
You're
1?
so generous.
Really? Wow. Yes. You gave it a 1.
Yes.
Wow.
Why do you think I threw the damn book?
That should have been my first goal. I'm pretty shocked. Okay. Yeah. Let's get into it, because I really want to know why you gave it a 1.
Yeah, let's roll right into that. Okay. So first I will start, if you want me to start first.
Yes, you can start first.
Where do we start first in all of this? Okay. First, I will say that I read he had the author's note at the beginning of why he chose the tone and perspective and narration that he did. And at first, I found it to be really great. I thought that it was a really great way to also show and not tell. I thought that...
Yeah.
It is Bella, right? It only has
one Bella, okay. the little girl, yeah.
I'm going to side tangent, because I just need to get this out of my system.
Are you mad that Bella is spelled with only one L?
No, but why the fuck is every character named Bella?
I know, it's a common name now.
It is overused. Yeah. And I'm not just talking Twilight. Like, I've read so many books where their name's fucking Bella. Can we get
Bella,
original?
Taylor, there's a couple others that come to mind.
I'm not sick of Taylor yet. I can handle Taylor. I cannot handle any more Bellas. Especially this modern of a book. Like, a book written in today's age should no more Bella. Please.
There's been a Bella now. We gotta find a new name, you know?
Thank you. I'll take Emily. Emily would have been a cute name. Why not Emily?
Emily.
So, okay, now that's one.
Are we just going to call her Emily from now on, or refuse to call her Bella?
It'll be Bella. But so there's one slight shiver off, like sliver taken off the stars.
Okay.
So I appreciated the tone use at the beginning because I thought that Bella's perspective of the world of showing how her parents were going. It was a great use of being able to really formulaic and use the showing, because we never got that descriptive writing to explain like how people were feeling. It was very much a showing perspective of her observing her parents. Now after that, horrible. I hated it, and I became sick of it very quickly. And I think that it actually ruined most of the story for me.
The point of view of the child?
No, the way that he wrote, from this very pared down, simplistic.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't say it was just because it was from a child's perspective, but the fact that it was entirely lacking any sort of description in a way, or any narration, or any actual writing of emotional arcs and characters, and it was just literally, in a sense, a transcript of what she was seeing through her eyes. And the fact that he also wrote it from a little bit too much of a childlike perspective of description, of wording and dialogue and such, while at the same time not, was just too much.
Okay. I liked that the story was told from the kid's point of view, and I liked it throughout the book, because for me, it showed the story happening without any judgment or bias. It was just kind of relating it as fact, like a transcript, like you said. And I liked that helped Malerman get away with some really great descriptions of the creature, for example. Like at one point, I wrote down a note that said, Bella says that other mommy's mouth is so big, it's as big as a doorway. And I love that because it paints a really good picture. Like, other mommy's mouth may not be actually as big as a doorway, or it may be. We really don't know. Is this hyperbole from a kid where everything looks larger than it really is? Or is it really just that big? It's questionable here because it's from a kid, but it's still believable. Because to kids, everything just seems larger than life. And we know that feeling. So we still accept it instead of immediately dismissing it as if an adult were to say, other mommy's mouth stood in front of me as large as a door. We'd be like, okay, sure, buddy. Like, that's probably not what's actually happening. But with a kid, I allow that image to just get in my head and not automatically shake it away because a kid is relating it. So I really like that happened for a couple different times around the book, and I thought it was a good use of the child's narrative to kind of point that stuff out.
But could we have still had this childlike narration while also including some more narration, for lack of a word that I can't think of, to help build the scene more, to lay out more of the groundwork, to provide more emotion to the story? Because as you were saying, that with it being just, this is a transcript of what was happening, that also removed so much of the scare factor for me. It also removed so much of any connectivity to the story. And it almost went to the point of making it feel that Malerman, this was a cheat for Malerman. He didn't have to put the effort into creating a story because he could just essentially create this rough draft version that did not consist of any narration and present it and be like, all right, well, it's from a child, so there you go, it's fine.
Is this your first Malerman book?
Yes.
Okay. This, to me, was very similar to the way he's written other books, so maybe that's why it didn't stand out to me as much. I know he's more of a sparse writer, so it didn't seem unusual to me, but I do agree with you. There could have been more emotion, more description about certain things. that would have made it come to life a little bit more.
I think my biggest complaint of why I felt this way is that he does one of my top 2, I would say, scariest things that will fuck me up in a horror thing.
Bad stuff.
Well, yes, but more than that. So if anyone has seen Haunting of Hill House, which this is a spoiler if you haven't, so I'm sorry, but there's the scene where one of the, I think, middle sisters is laying in her bed and she hears her bedroom door open and she hears one of her siblings comes into the room and essentially wraps her arm around her stomach and she's like, it's okay, do you have a nightmare? And then she goes to turn over to like comfort her sibling and there's no one there. And it's that kind of switch up of reality. It also happens again in Haunting of Hill House when the dad's talking to the 2 little girls and then all of a sudden his mouth like opens and he turns into more of a creature than it being that their dad was talking to him. That is like one of my number 1 jump scare moments of I will fucking freak out when reality is shifted in such a way. And that is also done in this book. And it was, Bella is sitting on her bed hearing her mom talk about essentially cheating and all this and going through. And she's like, oh, my mom must assume I'm asleep. So she's just essentially confessing to everything that she's doing. And then it turns out that it wasn't her mom and it was actually other mommy the whole time. Now that I should have been fucking freaked out.
I totally was. I did not see that coming.
I wasn't because I just didn't have... I could not connect with this book whatsoever.
I read that scene and I was so mad at the woman. I was like, you selfish bitch. Like, how are you unloading all this crap on your child? What kind of mother are you? What kind of person are you? Like, they could be awake. You don't know. And I was so mad at her. And I think I got so into it about being mad at her. And then when I found out it was other mom, I was like, no, like you tricked me. I was totally shocked and totally like, holy fuck, that is creepy. Like that was one of the scenes I wrote down as like extra creepy for me.
See, I didn't think it was other mommy either. So I was into the whole, because Malerman did do a great job in building it up that the parents did do the confessions on the bed, that they would think that she's asleep and start talking to her. But in that instance, when it was like such a shift of just dialogue, I believe that that's how it was revealed, is that she was having this extremely long dialogue and you had little moments of Bella being like, I'm awake, I'm listening. And then all of a sudden she goes, well, friends wouldn't do blah, blah, blah. Or she was giving her, changing her dialogue to fit other mommy. And just in the simple thing that there wasn't any of this build up or, I don't know, a shift in something in the narration, something developed that it just happened. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, see, I like that. I like that it was just this subtle shift and then it changes. And it felt very realistic for me, where you're just listening to this one thing and then all of a sudden it starts to just twist around and you're like, wait, what? And then boom, you're there. Like there's no scary music in the background, there's no lead up, there's just boom, all of a sudden you're living in a fucking nightmare scenario. And I love that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to me. I don't know, because part of reading, what was it, Murder Road, there were some moments in Murder Road where I definitely got the... Yeah. So I don't know like why that did it and this didn't.
Okay, now let's talk about the toilet scene, which has now scarred me for life. And by the toilet scene, just to remind our listeners, it is where Bella has to struggle to get on the toilet seat because it feels higher than usual in Evelyn's house where they're staying. And when she's sitting pants down on the toilet, she feels hairy legs beneath her and she's sitting on the lap of fucking other mommy on the toilet, and holy crap, that scared the shit out of me. I thought the reveal was great. I love that he made a situation that we all not need to be afraid of and made it creepy and put her in such a vulnerable position. I have not heard of anybody else getting surprised on the toilet bowl like that. So that for me is some original writing and I applaud it. And it scared the crap out of me of toilets.
Was I scared? No. Did I check the toilet after reading this section? Yes.
Yes.
Because the thought was in my head. But again, I wasn't scared. Nothing about this book scared me. It did not scare me to the point that when I went to Barnes & Noble on Sunday, I considered it a Stephen King book.
I mean, nothing outright scared me. I got a little creeped out and got the heebie-jeebies, which I like. But overall, would I say it's a scary novel? No. But if you're new to horror, or you don't read a lot of horror, yes, I would say this would scare the bejesus out of you, because there are a lot of classic elements of hauntings, of possessions, the toilet scene. I mean, I don't think that many people I know who don't usually read horror, like they're going to read that toilet scene and be like, oh my God, I'm never taking a crap again, basically, you know, in the middle of the night with no light on, because the toilet monster will get them.
I'm getting scared that I'm turning into you with books.
You may be.
Fuck.
Yeah. I can appreciate
Okay.
like the scary parts, but in terms of actually being scared, it takes a lot to get me there. Which is sad.
I don't know. I can't remember if you liked the book or not, but the book from your last October reads list last year that I thought was going to scare the shit out of me. I have
Let
put
Him
it on.
In.
Was it that one? It's the one where the girls play with their imaginary friend.
Yeah, with the stitching on the front cover.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So I'm reading that. So we are going to see if it scares me.
That one didn't scare me.
Okay, well, you know what?
But that doesn't have my trigger in it. So it has a lot of bed stuff in that one. So that is your trigger. I don't really have much of a trigger anymore. Demon possession scares the crap out of me. So that's why this one scared me a tiny bit with certain things, but the ending fucking killed it for me.
I am getting so distracted right now because I have not seen the prettiest sky.
Oh.
It is like out of a cartoon. It is the palest periwinkle blue with these beautiful pink and purple clouds that look like a cartoon. Like,
that's so nice.
Picture perfect. Anyway,
I see my wall. That's all I see. And you.
I have a wall of windows right here, so I am lucky. But yeah, so that was one of my biggest problems. 'Cause I went into this book wanting to be terrified. Like the description and synopsis we read, I was like, can I make it? Is this going to be the book that does me in book club? Like, am I fucked?
Yeah.
And the answer is no.
No.
I was fine. And I'm normally the scaredy cat of the group.
Yeah, I think you've leveled up, my friend. I hate to break it to you. If you could read this one and not be very scared, I think you've leveled up.
Oh, man. I don't know. Well, maybe Grady Hendrix, but I don't know if there's actually been a book in book club that scared me yet.
I don't think so for me either. I don't know.
Grady Hendrix just has a way with me. Like the beginning of that book, How to Sell Haunted House, did get me though. The way he wrote about like the missing dolls and then the squirrels moving until it got to the fantastical. But the way that he wrote the beginning of that book just fucked me up a little bit.
Yeah. Things creep me out, but overall, except that movie I mentioned last time, The Deliverance, was that it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. That one scared me a little bit.
Deliverance. Which I then read the entire synopsis to my partner to see if I could convince him to watch it with me, and he said no.
I don't think he should watch that one, no.
Though he has agreed to one day of the year to watch anything scary I want, because I am very sad to report to all our listeners that Mike Flanagan is no longer in partnership with Netflix, and there will not be a mini-series.
I was just wondering that. And I was like, I have to ask Kait.
Yeah, he's moved to Amazon. He has 2 movies coming out. I don't believe they're entirely ready for October. So no, there will not be a binge sesh. And I got very sad and upset. I'm very upset. But it is fitting because I moved and now I can't watch it with my close friend anymore. And he and I used to binge them all. Though I wish the last binge wasn't ended so horribly. Because Kate made a mistake. Yeah. So... But anyway, okay, so I have a question for you now about back to incidents around that. How old is Bella? Would like to know.
I think she's 8. I think she's 8.
Were we told this?
Yes, because I have a comment about the ending which pissed me off, and I mentioned her age. Hold on, let me find it.
Because sometimes the things she thought and said were just too big.
Yeah,
but sometimes they talk down to her, and I was like, is she 5?
So the problem that I had, I'm going to skip to the ending part.
Okay.
So I hated the ending. I hated the fact that they said that innocence needs to be taken away in order to save Bella. I thought that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I also hated that the big reveal is that Dado isn't Bella's biological father. And I'm just going to preempt this topic by saying that I know who my biological parents are, and as someone who doesn't have a large biological family and who knows a lot of people with shitty, abusive blood family members, I am saying this. I don't get why so much of literature and movies has this whole finding out that your father or your parent isn't your biological parent is such a huge deal. Like, if you have a good parental figure, then what does it really matter? Like throughout the book, Bella gave no hint at feeling other or less than. In the book, she loved Daddle like crazy. So why should it matter that somebody else gave her genetics? And
there was also no hint that this was ever something that would ever come up either, which was so
like nothing has changed except that now she knows. And I thought the way that she reacted to it was ridiculous. Like she just, pitches a fit, goes into a tizzy. She's 8 years old. Yeah, I have down here, especially at 8 years old. Her reaction just seems so extreme for somebody so young and so enamored with her father. Like a teenager could react to news like this with that kind of outburst. But the fact that Bella just runs away when she finds out the truth is completely unbelievable to me. And I think it's way too an adult reaction for a little girl.
Yeah, I just also felt like her comprehension that that wasn't her dad was just too well taken as well. Like, oh, this isn't my dad. Like, for her to really understand that, instead of just being asked, like, wait, this isn't my dad? What do you mean this isn't my dad?
Yeah.
This is my dad that's been around this whole time.
Yeah. Like, why would she just turn her back on Dado when she was obsessed with him? It just didn't make any sense. And the whole concept in general was stupid to me. I feel like it was just a way for Mommy's secret about being a big hoe to come out to everybody in the book. Like, that was basically it.
Very much agree with you. That was another point that I was going to make, is that the big reveal being about her having a different dad and there being this whole cheating scandal was overdone. To be honest, when they were talking about taking your innocence away, my brain went to a completely different
Mine
bad
too.
place. Bad place.
It was a poor choice of words. I agree. I was like,
I slightly got what they were saying about the innocence, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go along with this for a minute, but like
that's telling her about her biological father is not the shattering of innocence I would have immediately gone to in my head, It wasn't, in fact.
In a reference to our content recap of this month 2 weeks ago that we had, I would like to just reference a comment that I made about how I'm over this whole like bad mom scenario. Like, look at mommy doing all this bad stuff. Look at mommy doing this. Look at mommy being this. Oh,
yeah. The whole lake scene, I feel we could have done without. That entire thing seemed just like a side tangent. And in the very end, like, I feel like throughout this book, we all know Bella's going to say yes at some point. To "Can I go into your heart?" She's going to say yes. We could have just gotten there more quickly. We didn't need that whole lake scene, the whole innocence thing. Just let her be possessed and we're going to fucking deal with it.
This entire book kind of felt like nonsense to me in general. What is the entire point of the story? Because we see the demon, whatever we say it is, and it's just a bunch of running around just to come to the same conclusion that the ghost is gonna come with you, or the demon, I don't know why I'm saying ghost. The demon's gonna come with you the entire fucking time. Like the whole, what was it, Ethel?
Evelyn, yeah.
Though, okay, I'm not saying the toilet scene can still be in there, since it was so
that was
freaky. But why did we even have to go to Evelyn's house again? What was the entire point of that? We could have just had it at the grandmother's house.
Like, why? I took it out of my notes because I'm like, this is superfluous. But I was like, why aren't they just going to a hotel? Or why aren't they just doing this? Like, why do they have to go to all these places? And eventually they do go to a hotel, I think. But I'm like, why is it such a big deal? They have to go to other people's houses, because I don't think they mention any problems with money, where like if you have money issues, you don't magically want to go to a hotel because you would have to pay for it.
Running out of money eventually.
Okay, but like you can stay at the Econo Lodge for $85 a night, to not be haunted by a demon, instead of bring it to your friends.
Like the one at the very beginning where they just leave the house and they go to the best friend.
One friend, because you think it's not really there, and then it turns out it is there, and you're like, oops, okay, time to be on our merry way.
Or you think that it's confined to the house, because most demon possession kind of house stories are like confined to the house.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. And then like, oh, well, I guess we'll go to our parents, because I think that's the general idea of what we think. And I didn't mind the grandmother being added in, but still, I mean, whatever.
Dude, Grandma Ruth is my fucking hero in this book, because her reaction to the whole thing is either you guys are mad and crazy or it's real. End of story. And I loved it because she knows her daughter, she knows her son-in-law, she knows they're both not crazy, so obviously it must be real. There's no trying to figure out a third option. Bravo to Grandma Ruth. Bravo. I loved her the entire time. And at the end, when she was like the demon thing, like other mommy, I knew it right away. Because she started talking about like your friends and your heart. I'm like, no, that is not Grandma Ruth. That is not Grandma Ruth.
Right, when did that happen?
At the very, very end, when they think everything's clear.
Okay.
When they get out of the car and Grandma Ruth is there.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that is not our Grandma Ruth. Our Grandma Ruth would not talk like that because she's a fucking ball buster. Yeah.
But just like, okay, so why we go to Edith's house? Why do we have to go with the dogs? Why were the dogs there?
Why were the what are alarms and dogs going to do against a ghost/demon? Have we never seen any horror movies? Ever.
Okay, I'm just gonna also say, because we always do this, the dog lives. The dogs live!
Yeah, the dogs live. The dogs live.
Which they already know that. If they,
yeah.
Whatever, okay. But, yeah, what was it? The dogs, with the alarms? I mean, I can forgive the alarms, I guess, a little bit. But, like, what was with Evelyn's house? I liked the gas station moment.
I forget the gas station moment.
So they slept in their car.
Yeah.
And then she thinks she sees other mommy's face in the windshield, water coming, like someone cleaning their windshield.
Okay.
Because that gave the idea that she could exist more outside of just the closet in this reality. Like, she can really follow them. It was the first time that I felt like she could follow them anywhere. And it was this moment, like, she didn't just need a closet to be able to access them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it just felt that everything that happened in the book was pointless to me, which is also why 1 star. And I needed more. I needed more of, like, where did other mommy come from? What was the world building? What are the rules of this world? Like, where did Bella go at the end? What was the point of all this? Like, at one point, the mother is trying to make a connection about how she cheated, and so now the other mommy was created because of her lack of being connected. But really, why was this demon here? Why was this going on? Where did Bella go? I need to know where Bella went.
The whole mother woe is me thing at the very end, I was like, okay, I don't want to hear this crap. Just be quiet and let's go. Let's move along to the ending where we're gonna get. About the other stuff, you brought up something about, I forget what. Oh, what are the rules? So I liked that this book to me broke a lot of rules about what's real and horror. So one of the things that I loved about this book is that other people see other mommy. It's not just Bella trying to convince a bunch of adults that something exists and they don't believe her because they can't see it, or, only the daughter and the mother believe it and the father's not believing. I feel like there's this new wave of horror going through right now where the supernatural is just there. You don't spend half the book trying to prove that it exists. Like, it exists, it's batshit crazy, and it defies everything that we know, but there's usually irrefutable proof that there's something there we don't understand, and now it is a fact. And I liked there was a line in, where did I put it? There was a line in the book that said, I think the mother was saying to Dado, I need you to understand that reality for us, for the three of us, is changed now by what I saw sitting on Bella's bed. Like, not only was that sentence incredibly creepy for me, because it's sitting on Bella's bed, it just conveys the whole message that this is real and we have to deal with it. And I loved that aspect, and that everybody's kind of in shock about it, and it's going after everybody. It doesn't just go after one person, just after Bella or just after the mom. Anybody who comes in with firing range is just shot at immediately. And I thought that was really good because there's just tons of proof everywhere that this is a thing that's happening. And I like that.
Yeah, I can see that. I do like the no proving. I think maybe that's why we're not seeing it as much, is that we are a little bit, what's the word, overdone and just over the trope of having to prove something.
Yeah.
Like, I know with, like, LGBTQ stories, they want less of, like, the coming out story, and they want more of the characters to exist. Because the market's already flooded with the whole, I need to prove that ghosts exist. We live in a world where if you're going to read horror, ghosts exist.
Yeah. I feel like Starve Acre did this, and then even How to Make a Horror Movie and Survive. Like, he had the haunted camera, he's like, holy crap, this is what it does. It wasn't, 50 billion pages spending, does it really what it does? He had one test, it passed, boom, we have a haunted camera.
Or the creation of the camera didn't exist from him doing that either. It was just like, okay, the camera exists, how am I going to use it?
Yeah, the Exorcist Believer movie had the same thing, where it's just like, okay, these kids are possessed, and it moved along a lot quicker to that point than it would have in previous movies.
So I like that point. I was thinking more of the rules that Malerman made for his world. Because, everything, like, you have your rules of fantasy world building and sci-fi and all this stuff. Like, what are the rules that he made? Where do demons exist? Are they a heaven and hell situation? Are they just spirits? Like, what is there another reality on the other side? Where did this come from? What is his world of this existing? I want a little bit more than just, like, a demon. It feels like a slasher movie in the sense of, like, we're just gonna have a murderer killing everything and no explanation as to why they got here. And I needed a little bit of why. And, like, why is it only Bella? if he's asking the heart, is it the innocence thing? Like, could he have asked the parents if he could go into the mom's heart? Why was it this way? Why was the demon so obsessed with Bella? Why did Bella get picked to begin with? Did it have a connection to the fact that she didn't have, like, did her real dad send it to them? Like, where did this come from? Like, what is the point? What was the point of this book?
That didn't bother me as much because with real life demonic possession cases, it's usually not known why anybody is picked. It's usually picked at random. And to me, that made sense here.
No, the deliverance is because they went in the fucking house.
I never saw the deliverance. Oh wait, the deliverance. Oh, movie. That one, yeah.
It was because they went in the house.
But the case of the exorcism of Emily Rose, she's just living her nice little life, and she's just picked out of nowhere so she can be an example and a martyr. But she's just randomly picked.
But there had to have been something inside of her that made her pickable. Like, did she not have her boundaries?
Usually it's like a religious background or something, or just the corruption of innocence.
There's a reason.
Yeah, so I think that... So
one of the things... do your fucking work.
One of the things that I liked about this is, the scenes when Bella finally starts talking to her parents about other mommy, and I found them hilarious because her parents are so incredibly shocked about what she's been working with, what she's been seeing, and for her it's completely normal, but for the adults they're like, oh my god, that is horrific. And I thought it was hilarious because she's an 8-year-old just dealing with this stuff. But I thought he did a really good job of reminding me, and this is actually the book that inspired me to get back to Ghost Children, I realized. Because, stick with me, it reminds me of how people react who aren't brought up in a world steeped in paranormal lore. And it's something that I need to remember because the problem I encounter with my book is that I'm not showing enough shock and resistance to the idea of ghosts or fear. To me, it is just a fact. Ghosts exist. Demon possessions exist. But I need to make it believable for readers. And I thought Malerman did a really good job of showing that adult resistance and shock and fear to this concept. However, he did let readers down on your side by not providing a background because while I know that a lot of demonic possession victims are chosen at random, not everybody is familiar with that. And that should have been more explained for people.
Are they chosen by random and then obsessed over?
By the demon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes they want to go through an entire family line. Sometimes they just want one. They just want to corrupt innocence. It's really... there can be all sorts of reasons.
She kept saying no, so you would think that the demon would then move on, right? Or is it like...
I don't know if they mentioned this in the book, but like... And again, this sounds so woo-woo. In demon time, 80 years, 20 years is nothing. It's a blip. They just sit and they wait it out. They're like, okay, I'll ask in 10 seconds, when really it's like 10 days, Because they're living... forever. So they just keep bugging until you let them in, and they'll keep going and they'll keep going and they'll keep going until they wear you down to the point where you're physically and emotionally and mentally so weakened that you can do nothing but let them in. And that's what he did with her.
Yeah, see, that's probably the problem. I'm new to the demon books. I am new to all this. And now clearly I have a demon story that I'm writing very soon, and I need to read more demon books.
I can give you all the info that you need because I'm a little weirdo.
I need a list. And now I wish I'd known this before I made my October reading list.
I can give you some things to read that'll take you right into November.
Well, I'm booked through November now. But I could just make a spooky Christmas.
You can make a spooky Christmas read. That was the traditional time to tell ghost stories, was Christmas. So There you go. You can just be very Victorian about it.
I'll read my one romance book that I always read, and then the rest, like...
Love Light Farms?
Well, because I always do, like, a Christmassy romance.
You gotta have one in there.
I need my Hallmark book, Well,
we read so much dark shit the rest of the year. We need something light and fluffy, filled with sugar cookies and romance.
Which, if anyone needs a reminder, don't forget, Halloween Baking Championship has begun, if we need the reminder.
We're watching it tonight. I'm very excited.
Anywho's, yes. So, I think I'm starting to see some of the disconnect as to why I was giving it 1 star.
Yeah.
Also, I'm fine with them all dying at the end, but, again, I just need that reason as to why. Why did the demon win? Give me more.
I love that the demon won because it doesn't make it a nice, neat, happy ending where the demon is vanquished and everything's fine. It just sends her into being possessed by a demon, and then we're left to wonder what happens. And I love
Her
that because,
parents are
again,
dead.
it's realistic. Are they dead? Did they die at the end?
That's what I'm asking. Are they dead?
I
Their
didn't think
faces-
so.
She describes about their faces being in the ground.
I don't remember. I just
Don't
remember
make me pick up
Bella
my book.
was possessed.
Don't make me pick up my book.
I didn't. I read
she
this
did-
2 months ago.
She describes that her dad and mom's face were like in the ground, like. So I assume they.
I don't know.
And she thinks she can save him because she's giving the demon. But
I don't remember.
I just
Like,
clearly I need some narration.
Yeah. Can I mention something else that I liked about the book?
Yeah.
So I loved that Malerman purposely kept the language vague when describing the creature for most of the book, because we'll get glimpses of a face that's wrong, or limbs scrabbling on the floor, unnaturally hairy arms and legs sitting on a toilet. But, the creature's never quite officially named. Is it a ghost? Is it a demon? We're led to believe it could be those things, and it's hinted at, but it's never actually defined. And, when one of the ghost hunters touches it in that one scene where the ghost hunter's called and all he wants to do is he keeps saying, like, I touched it. He doesn't even say, like, him, her, them, ghost, demon, anything. He just keeps it vague. And I just feel like that really keeps the creep factor going, because once you name it, you identify it, you take some of the fear away.
Other mommy.
Which is
still
mommy.
Fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what do you think made, besides the fact that the book had to wrap up eventually, what do you think changed that made other mommy finally, like, attack everyone at the end and do all of that?
I think just to try and get Bella to say yes, like just pushing her to the limit to say yes. That's like the end game the entire time, just to get into her heart and be in a body. Simple as that.
Picking up props here. Now, the part that did get me a little bit is when she goes to the circle with everyone with their phones with Louisa. I don't remember how to say her name.
I forget the character.
She met her at the party, and then she had the group of, like, occultist people, and she was, like, their first attempt to try to get rid of the demon. And she invites all her friends over, and then the one person gets up and then starts talking to Bella. That one creeped me out just a little bit. That one was good. That was, like, the first time I felt like, oh, boom, boom. But, yeah.
Yeah. The scene with Kelvin, too, who's, like, her babysitter, how he was talking. Like, the whole... I don't like it when demons and ghosts mimic things like doppelgangers. I find that incredibly creepy, because to me, it's like, how am I supposed to know? I just listened to a Scared to Death podcast episode where they were talking about something that, like, mimics other people in the house, and how this person survived something that would mimic things, and how they ask their husband all the time, are you the real Kevin, or are you the real so-and-so? And, like, they're totally nice and normal, but, they just gotta make sure, and thankfully their partner's like, yeah, I'm okay.
But wouldn't the demon also say that?
I mean, they have, like, a secret code word, apparently. I don't know. This was a story.
Secret code word, too, as well, with mine. And then he forgot it one night. And he said the wrong thing, and I just kind of stared at him like...
That's exactly what fake you would say.
I know, and then he looks at me, he's like, wait, that was the wrong word, wasn't it? I was like,
Yeah.
Also, like, in all this, like, demon talk, it reminds me of this movie that scared the shit out of me when I was, like, 7 or 8. My parents let me watch it. I don't know why. It's called The Fallen. But it's essentially about this demon that would take over people's bodies. And every time you knew that the demon had the body, because they would start whistling a specific kind of song, it would, like, haunt the guy. Like, yeah.
Nice.
Like Denzel Washington or something, and it's really old, but
I should watch that.
And then my parents thought it would be a great idea to whistle the song all night.
Oh God.
And I kind of smacked my mom at one point.
I would do that too, because you were just testing to make sure she wasn't a demon.
She was I told her to stop. She was freaking the shit out of me, and I told her to stop, and she wouldn't. Warning, parents, do not scare your kids. But yeah, okay, we need to pick scarier books. I need a real test.
We tried. We really tried. I had seen so many reviews on Bookstagram about this book being excellent. There were so many good blurbs about how it's going to keep you up at night and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, it definitely fell short on the spook factor. I found it creepy, but it wasn't. I like the originality. I like the things he did. I like the writing. I like the way he told the story for the most part. But overall, I wasn't scared, except about the toilet.
I think the winner so far for me is Grady Hendrix.
What about Schrader's Court?
That didn't scare me.
That's true.
It was great, but it didn't.
Yeah, it was great, but it didn't scare me. Yeah.
That was more of like, whoa. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is such a... I guess, did it... No.
No. Yeah, nothing's really overall making me sleep with the lights on, you know.
I'm trying to see if I can read the
Welcome to the club.
All right, fine. Let's see. I'll have to give an update on the horror movies we watched for horror movie day and to see if anything scares me. I'm gonna offline real quick. I'll tell you a few of the ones that I have on the list. So I'm definitely doing a Late Night with the Devil just because I really want to see it.
Okay.
I think you saw that, right?
I have not seen it. I heard about it.
You're the one that recommended it to me.
I was supposed to see it, and then plans fell through, and then I heard from the person I was supposed to see with who saw it without me that it wasn't that great. So I'm like, never mind.
Oh.
I'll wait till it's free.
Well, anyway, friends, let us give updated ratings of the book. So are you changing your rating?
I'm thinking. I might bring it down to a 3 because there was a lot I did not like, but there was still so much I did like that I can appreciate. But since it didn't scare the crap out of me, but I do think it would scare the crap out of people who don't read horror. No, I'm sticking with 3.5.
Okay, fine. Well, I'm not changing either. It's staying a 1 because nothing interested me. I was just like, put the book down. I was like, okay. What did I read?
Let's have more hope for next month's book. What is it?
I don't... All right, well, this is a great segue. Next month's book is Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas.
Oh, that won't scare us.
Cañas. There's a squeeze.
Cañas. Yeah. Like El Nino.
Yeah.
Cañas. Probably Cañas. I doubt it's the American flat A. Cañas. No.
But my favorite person in the world, besides you, Lemon, that I just always talk about, she actually said it was really good. So I'm excited. I told her I was reading it, and I'm supposed to give her an update on what I thought about it.
Really? Ooh, look at you. Rubbing elbows with the rich and famous there. So
That
really good or really
Graham,
scary?
Right? And Lauren Graham.
Not the Gilmore Girls lady. No.
No, what was the one we were just talking about offline?
Lauren Groff, sorry. And like Lauren Groff. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
So
did she say it was really good or really scary?
Yes. It was one of the 4 horror books she recommended for October.
Oh, okay.
But she also recommended a book I don't think you would approve of, so.
What is it?
She also said to read A Salt Grows Heavy.
I knew it was going to be fucking Cassandra Claw.
At least it wasn't nothing but black and teeth. I actually liked. Right? It was A Salt Grows Heavy, right? Am I getting the title wrong? Okay.
Yeah, no, that's right.
I actually liked it, and I said that you should give it a try. I actually did like it. It's not scary, but I thought it was the best. Well, but Devil Takes Adrian is so good. It's not for you, but it's so good. Okay. So, I will read the Goodreads synopsis for this because I have not read the book, so I can't write a synopsis for it.
It's true.
But, Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. As the daughter of a rancher in the 1840s Mexico, Nena knows a thing or two about monsters. Her home has long been threatened by tensions with Anglo settlers from the north. But something more sinister lurks near the ranch at night, something that drains men of their blood and leaves them for dead. Something that once attacked Nena 9 years ago. Believing Nena dead, Nestor has been on the run from his grief ever since, moving from ranch to ranch, working as a vaquero. But no amount of drink can dispel the night terrors of Sharp Teeth. No woman can ease his childhood sweetheart from his mind. When the United States attacks Mexico in 1846, the two are brought abruptly together on the road to war. Nina as a curandera, a healer striving to prove her worth to her father so that he does not marry her off to a stranger, and Nestor as a member of the auxiliary cavalry of ranchers and vaqueros. But the shock of their reunion and Nina's rage at Nestor for seemingly abandoning her long ago is quickly overshadowed by the appearance of a nightmare made flesh. And unless Nina and Nestor work through their past and face the future together, neither will survive to see the dawn.
I'm surprised you chose a book with 2 main characters with the same initial, Nina and Nestor, because that's gonna trip you up, isn't it?
Yes. Well, in all honesty, I chose this book just because it was popular, and I was hoping to gain traction to the podcast.
Well, I loved her first book, The Hacienda. I thought it was brilliant. It was a great haunting story, and I actually really loved the fact that she set it in a place and time period. It's in Mexico. I forget what time period it was, but it was older, like 1800s-ish, that I knew nothing about. So on top of being a good, scary story, I got to learn a little bit of history that I haven't heard before. Because again, as we talk about, I'm so tired of World War II stories and World War I stories, and it's really refreshing to read a horror story set in a new-to-me setting and time period.
She actually has quite a few publication stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, then I guess The Hacienda is just the first book I have heard. I think she's come out with one more since the Vampires book.
Yeah, I think it's more of either what's when a bunch of people write stuff.
An edited collection?
Yeah, kind of a collection or
collaboration
some magazine stuff.
Oh, okay.
But interesting. I did not know this was not her first book. I appreciate having a different perspective too, just because like I feel like we've been reading a lot of white man. And
Yeah.
Just mix it up a little.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm not
so
excited about the vampires, but I did love her other books, so I'm excited to see what she brings to vampires.
Cool. I mean, we need to mix it up anyway. We need some fantastical beastie books now.
We do, definitely.
Anyway, thank you so much, friends, for listening to Dark Side of the Word. If you need to get your book club copy for next month in October, make sure to use one of our bookshops.
What's that? Is it other mommy in the bathroom on the
Shut
toilet?
the fuck up! I'm home alone!
Maybe you're not home alone.
Well, if I didn't have to say the goodbye, I would just close this right now.
I just see the ghost pillow behind you. Maybe it's going to move.
Stop. Oh my god. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to Dark Side of the Word, a weekly podcast for all the dark writers, artists, and creatives out there. If you are liking this video and you hate CJ right now, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. We're also audio only on Apple Podcasts, the Spotify, and fuck, you must be on iHeart Radio.
It's a demon trying to possess you.
All right, I'm ending now. I already said everything. Thank you, friends.
Bye!
You're so fucking mean.